This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
Today's episode is brought to you by BUSR.com. You know, everyone always asks me where they should bet, and now I got a solution for them. BUSR.com/Paul. You deposit $100, they'll match your $100 in free bets, so you basically get $200. Go check it out, BUSR.com/Paul. What's up? I'm back for another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Today, we got a guest host, Aaron Burrell, and our special guest today is the number one O-lineman in the country in high school, Tyler Booker. Tyler, how's it going? Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to do this with you guys.
Yeah, had to have you on, CT boy.
You know it.
Yeah. First off, just congrats on committing to Alabama. So what was that like to finally get it over with and commit?
Thank you. And to commit to Alabama is really a dream come true, for one. But two, it's like taking that monkey off my back. You know, it was just all the stress left my shoulders as I announced it. And I was recruited by a lot of other great schools that I could have been great at, but I feel like Alabama puts me on the best path.
You know, I'm personally, I was hoping that you was going to go to my favorite school. You'll be competing against them. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for you, you know, for you to do your thing. But, you know, what was it? Obviously, you said, you know, preparing for the next level and just preparing. I know, you know, whenever I've studied the Bama way, if you will, is you know, it's very much about, you know, doing your job. And you're coming from a program at IMG that, you know, I think it's the closest thing you could get in high school to being at that. How has IMG helped prepare you, you know, for the next step?
It's helped prepare me tremendously as far as athletically, mentally, and just as a man, just growing up and being independent and being on my own and being prepared for the next level, which is college, and preparing me to make an instant impact. And IMG is the closest thing that you can get to Bama at a high school. And the same reason why I chose to go to IMG, the same reason why I'm choosing to go to Bama. Best competition during the game, but better competition during practice. And just a constant commitment to excellence from top to bottom. When I was at Bama, I just felt like everybody was committed to me being great, from the training staff to academics to the weight staff to the coaching staff. Most of all, everybody really wanted to see me be great.
Yeah, that's dope. Like, what are your expectations when you go to Alabama?
So my expectations for the spring is to really just learn. I'm going to start my freshman year. I like to speak things into existence, so I will start my freshman year. The way that I go about that is just learning. You know, I don't earn my starting spot in the spring. I earn it in fall camp. So just learning the offense, learning the playbook, learning what Coach Marone had to teach me, and just being me, because being me has got me this far. Of course, I have things to master, things to improve upon, but being me has got me this far. So not much to change.
No doubt, no doubt. I mean, you've seen a lot too. I know we've known about you since 8th grade. You know, so like we're not new to this. We really been following your career. We've seen you growing and taking off so far. With that being said, I know you went to Bergen Catholic in Jersey. Now you're down at IMG. How is, like, you know, different surroundings in different states, and, you know, you're Connecticut, you're CT boy, been to Jersey, you've seen really some of the best states when it comes to high school football that there is. You know, New Jersey is a powerhouse. I'm from Florida, so I'm obviously always going to bring up Florida football. You know, growing up, you see it. So how is seeing all that, you know, helped you improve your game over the years?
Man, it's helped me so much, really, just being immersed in so many cultures. And a big part of the reason why I went to Bergen was the culture of football in Connecticut. This is something I hope to change, but football isn't taken as seriously. And the closest thing to a major football state was New Jersey. So I went there, and it was everything that I expected, everything that I wanted. Like, football was the main attraction, you know. I remember going to the rival team's games when we had an off night, and I would just walk in. Everybody would be like, "Oh my gosh, that's Tyler Booker. That's Tyler Booker. Oh my gosh, that's Tyler Booker. He goes to Bergen Catholic and plays as a freshman." And in my mind, I'm thinking, what? How do these people know me? I'm not even from New Jersey. I haven't even met anyone. But, like, that's just attached to the culture. And then coming down to IMG was to be among the best. I want to compete among the best, against the best. And that's helped me go against the top talent from like, I played in all the top states. I played against Hoover in Alabama. I played against Grayson in Georgia when I was at Bergen Catholic. I played against Duncanville in Texas. So whatever this country has to offer, I'm up to the challenge, and just because of the path that I've taken so far.
Yeah, definitely. I know you. I think you know now that I'm from West Haven. I saw your pin tweet, and you said, "Once again, I'm not from Philly or New Jersey. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut." So why is it important? Why is it important for you to rep your city and state?
Just because I know there's not a lot of talent, even outside of sports, that from New Haven that makes it on a national stage. So whenever I know I'm going to be on the national stage, even a global stage. So there's no point of having success if you can't bring the people that you grew up with you. So I'm trying to bring the whole city with me, because when people see Turner and think, oh, he's from New Haven, you see his pin tweet, like you said, people are going to think New Haven even more. So I'm just trying to raise my platform, and at the same time raise the platform of New Haven, Connecticut as well.
So obviously, you know, putting on for your city is, first of all, I respect the hell out of it. Like, you know, just always respect that. But, you know, there's young kids now who are watching you, and they're going to be rooting for you all the way. What advice would you have to the next kid who's like, you know what, I want to follow Tyler Booker's path, and I want to be the next Tyler Booker? What advice would you give them?
You trust the process, you know, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. You really have to truly believe it. Like I said earlier, I'm going to start as a freshman at Alabama, and that's me manifesting it. You have to manifest what you want, and along with manifestation has to come hard work, has to come just belief, and just belief in yourself, because there are a lot of times when people called my dad crazy for taking me all the way to Alabama for the football camp. They're like, oh, you don't need to do that. Just let him work out at Gulf Street. Let him work out at Bowling Field. But now it all paid off. So really trust the process, believe in yourself, and work for what you want.
Yeah, those are the dopest pictures. Like I saw you tweet out when you were a little kid, and then next to Nick Saban, and with the one from this year. So that was awesome. Now I gotta ask, do you think he remembered you or not?
Nah, he didn't. The thing is, I don't blame him, because
I mean, he sees a million people per year.
That's what I'm saying. He does 2 of those camps, and there's like 500 kids each camp. Yeah. And the interactions, like, hey, what's your name, son? Oh, nice, smile. Hey, what's your name, son? Yeah, nice, smile. And it's just like that. And he just runs through everyone.
So you know, before this, we were just talking about mental health, and one thing that has stood out to me, especially earlier, or actually now it's last year, these years, especially since the pandemic, it's all feeling like one big year. But last year, one thing that stood out to me was just, I feel like you have a maturity that's well beyond your years. And even just before this, we were just talking about mental health, and you were talking about, you know, sports psychology. Could you give people a little bit of, you know, insight into that? Because I was just having a conversation, you know, as we were just saying off camera, about the importance of mental health. I was an athlete. I played Division I soccer. And when I was done, I went through a whole transition of like, who am I? You know, what life, you know, life is different. And obviously you're still in it, but you already have that head step of knowing that. And to me, that's extremely impressive, you know, outside of the numbers and you monster on the field, like everybody knows that. But outside of that to me is one of the most impressive things. So one, I guess I would start with where does that come from? Like, you know, is that something that comes naturally to you? And where do you hope to, you know, take your learning with psychology, and how do you hope to help people?
So my awareness with mental health really starts with my mom, because she's just a very knowledgeable person. She can sense when something is up with my siblings and I. So she always asks what was on our mind, if there was anything that we would like to talk about. And she just always explained the importance of mental health to us. So that's when it started. And when I got to IMG, that's when my journey of including my mental health within my game really took off because at IMG we have a lot of mental coaches, mental training coaches. Shout out Coach Rangel. And we just went over some techniques and we really just talked about what it meant to be an athlete. And we prepared ourselves for when things don't go right in the game and how we respond. Just a lot of mental training, and a practice that I've taken and I'll use for the rest of my life is visualization. So what I did before every game, whether it be in my hotel room if we're away or in my dorm, black out the room, put a towel over my head, and I close my eyes, and I immerse myself into the game that I'll be playing in a few hours. So I think about how tight my gloves are, how tight my cleats are, what my sleeve feels like on my arm, what the tape feels like, what my mouthpiece tastes like, the headband on my head, how tight my helmet is, what the field smells like. I think about the people in the crowd. I think about what it hears like. So what I hear, what it sounds like. So I'll just fully immerse myself into the environment of the game. And then once I'm there, once I'm in the game, I'll close my eyes, and I'm even doing it right now. I just got my stance a little bit, so I'm closing my eyes and I'm thinking about running through plays. So we got inside zone, so I'm gonna take these steps. We got outside zone, I'm gonna take these steps. Oh, it's a pass play, I'm gonna kick set like this. Oh, he has an inside foot back. I know he's gonna take either 3 steps upfield and then jabbing right away. Oh, that safety is capped over. I know that linebacker is gonna come down. So all that is going through my head, and I'm putting myself through a whole game pretty much, but mentally, and my body's fine. I don't have any injuries from practice. It's like playing the game before I actually played the game, and that gives me a one-up on my opponent because I've done it all before. And I remember I've been doing it since preseason last year, but I really mastered it towards the end of the season. And one thing I vividly remember, it was outside zone. It was pen and I forget the name of the chance playbook. But yeah, outside zone. And I know my block was key because it was gonna hit outside and I'm playing right tackle. So I remember my coach telling me always, he said, you gotta get your foot here. Your foot placement is key. You gotta bring your left foot through, and then you really gotta get them. So that's one of the first plays on my highlights. When I'm playing Miami Northwestern, I took a perfect second step, got under his pass, pancaked him. Running back takes it all the way for a touchdown, and it's just proof. And that was I feel like I was unstoppable that game. That was probably my best game of the year. My coach graded me out at a 100, so really no mistakes, and I just went off. I went off in that game, and that's because I really sat down and played the whole game within my head. So that mental training and that using your mind as a weapon is special.
You got me mind blown. You're going to the league. like that was crazy. I felt like I was in the game. I felt like I was in the game with you.
I'm a Bucks fan, so right. Listen, hey, and that's a good opponent to have your best game. You said Northwestern.
Yeah, Miami Northwestern.
Yeah. For those who aren't from Florida, that's another Florida powerhouse as well. Home of a lot of legends.
Now, like I told you, I'm from West Haven, so I know your uncle Yulish. What has he helped you? Like, how has he helped you on the journey so far? Oh, and wait, hold on. For those who don't know, he was in the NFL and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So my uncle, he's just always tried to coach me up as if I was years ahead. So when I was in Little League, he coached me as if I was in high school. So now whenever I talk to him, he talks to me like I'm in the league. So a big thing that he really taught me how to practice. And what I mean by that, he told me I forgot what he said exactly, but it just changed my mindset of practice. He said, go hard, but don't overexert yourself. And I feel like I would do that a lot in practice. I would burn myself out. So I just go extra hard. Like, but I still go hard in practice, but it's different. I just learned how to practice. I really channeled my emotions during practice. I approach practice like a game physically when I'm supposed to approach practice like a game mentally. So even when I'm not in now, since he's like instilled that in me, I take ghost reps. So if I'm not in, even if the scout team offense is up, I'll stand behind the left or right tackle and I'll walk through his steps with the play. I'll get the play and I'll go like 10 to 20 yards back and I'll watch the play unfold. And do what I would do in the play. So just learning how to practice and just watching film, picking up on tendencies. Something else he taught me when I was playing defense is just understanding down and distance. So that helps me on the offensive side of the ball, so I could just mentally prepare myself for what kind of play we're getting. I'll predict the play. I'll joke with my guard. I'll be like, I'll bet you $5 is gonna be a pass right here. Or I'll call the exact play. I'll bet you $5 you're gonna call 38. I bet you $5 you're gonna call 38. And that's what we call just based on down and distance and play calling tendency. So just really knowledge of the game. Just knowing the game of football.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know like football is a business and stuff like that. So I'm sure you've seen all these NIL deals. Like what are your thoughts on that stuff?
My main thoughts are just making myself attracted to those companies who would like to partner with me, and by doing that, I need to be effective on the field before I do anything else.
Yeah.
So that means I need to have a great senior year. Continue to build upon the good brand I have right now, make it great, and just become more impressionable, more likable for people. So I'm more attractive for these brands.
I think you might be changing the game for O linemen.
Definitely,
right.
That's my main goal. I'm tired of offensive linemen being seen as the grunts, guys who are always blocking, getting none of the credit. Like, no, I want to shine too. I want my face to be on ESPN too. I want to be on the Sports in the top 10 too. So that's really my mission.
For sure. All right, you ready for some fun questions?
Let's do it.
All right, what's your favorite song right now?
My favorite song is John by Lil Wayne featuring Rick Ross.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy that you mentioned like Lil Wayne and Rick Ross is I was talking to a dude in the league the other day, and he was like, in the locker room now, he's becoming one of the older dudes. So dudes don't really want to listen to like Lil Wayne. They just really want to listen to like Lil Baby or like he's like, nah, Drake. Even Drake, they consider like, oh, that's old head music. Like, so that's interesting to hear that. Like,
yeah, I like a lot of old school music. So like my favorite rappers are Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z's music. I love Jadakiss music. Tupac, Biggie, of course. I listen to the Wu-Tang Clan a lot, NWA. So I just love that area because it was just mean. It was just punch you in the mouth, you know.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is that what you listen to before the game? Just get ready. Like, what's the pregame? One song you got to listen to pregame.
No Vaseline.
Oh, No Vaseline, you said?
No Vaseline.
By Ice
Hit 'em
Cube?
up. Yeah, No Vaseline. Hit 'em up.
And I feel sorry for whoever lined up.
Straight. I gotta listen to those. Are just make you go.
Just going in.
Yeah.
Have you taken any of the Florida music yet, or are you still?
I like Kodak. I like Kodak. I like Rod Wave. I like some of the newer Florida rappers. I really haven't gone to like the old school Florida rappers and things of that nature.
Okay. Because when I first moved, I went in Connecticut. When I first moved up there, I was playing all the Florida joints. Everybody was like, "Nah, bro, you gotta cut this off. We don't need this."
It took me a while, but I like it now.
Okay, what was like what was the most interesting part of like your transition moving to Florida? Like outside of football, outside of school, just being in Florida. Was it the weather, being hot all the time, or?
Everything was a lot slower. So I was used to being around people from down south because I went to the Alabama camps a lot. You know, I just played in a bunch of all-star games, went to a lot of camps. So there will be a lot of Southern boys there, but just everything moves a lot slower down here. It's like, just being up north, you got places to be. Everybody's walking fast. I'm walking in the mall and people are strolling, looking around. Like, no, I have specific stores I want to hit up as soon as I get to the mall. But they're like, nah, we'll hit them on the way. Just buy it.
I say people are just bothered. Like, why is everyone so bothered and pressed for time? Like, everyone's, come on, bro, I gotta go. Like, man, you gonna get there. You gonna be all right.
For a lot more chill.
You picked up on the Florida slang yet? Call anybody a jit on the field after you pancake them? Like, sit down, jit.
I can't call anybody jit, but like when I'm around everybody, I won't. So my mom will be like, "Stop talking like that." I'll be like, "What you talking about?" So I say, "Talking about." I'll say finna.
Yes, sir.
So just like how they talk. My sister said something, be like, you didn't even know that. Like, you and me. So I said, like, where did you get that from? You're from New Haven, Connecticut. Like, that's not you.
All right. Well, speaking of that, what is your favorite pizza in New Haven?
Modern.
All right. How'd you rank them? Like Modern, Pepe's, Sally's?
So I haven't had Sally's in a while. I haven't had Pepe's in a while either. Because whenever I come home, I only have
Modern
time to hit once. So I get Modern all the time.
All right.
Modern number one.
I'm for it.
And then if I don't hit Modern, I hit up Pizza House. Pizza House isn't as global as the other two, but you gotta check them out. It's by Yale.
All right.
It's right by downtown.
I got you.
Through New Haven.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, this is crazy. Like, you out here in IMG. Like, you live in. Have you gotten to like interact with all the other athletes at IMG? Because like I said, I used to play soccer, and I used to go down to IMG, and we would play at IMG. Beautiful facilities.
Yeah.
Basketball obviously is crazy there. Football, soccer, y'all got it all. Have you, gotten the chance to interact with everybody? And
Yeah, a few people. So the way I act with most people is just through school. So my best friends here outside football, like Jet Howard, his dad is the head coach at Michigan, right? Jamal Howard's son. I'm close to him. Yeah, Eric Daly, he's a top basketball recruit. Jarris Walker, he's gonna be top pick in the draft. And then baseball, Elijah Green. Next year, he's gonna be he's gonna get drafted next year. So just building a relationship with other top athletes and just taking parts of their game and putting them into mine. So just noticing how Jarris and all the other basketball players, when I first got here, the April of my freshman year, just seeing how they always put in extra work, showed me, I was like, oh, I could do it too. Let's go. So I started putting in extra work like them. So just being able to be around other like-minded individuals who prioritize greatness.
Yeah, networking is key. So you're doing it right. What about what do you like to do in your free time when you're not focused on football?
I'm not focused on football. Probably playing video games, watching TV, watching something on.
What games you playing?
I play Madden a lot. I'm trying to figure out how to play MLB because when I was home, my little brother was whooping my tail because he knew how to play. See, I have his number in Madden, but MLB, I can't touch him. I can't touch the kid. So that's what I'm trying to figure out how to play now.
Play 2K at all, or?
Nah. I'm trying to hold myself up on buying new games until I get in next gen college. So trying to save up a little bit.
I hear you. Smart man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Tyler. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and could you let the listeners where they could follow you at?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram at tbook._. You guys can find me on Twitter at @IamTylerBooker.
This episode has been brought to you by BUSR.com. Go check it out to get your free $100 bet when you deposit $100 at BUSR.com/Paul.